Hi writers, today I'm talking about fiction writing, specifically why fiction writing is the hardest type of writing, harder in my opinion than any of the other types of writing out there, and what to do to make it easier. So before we get into today's topic, I do want to say this is the third and final video in a little mini video series I'm doing to launch my new class. Registration for that class opens day after tomorrow. It's called Fiction Writing for Highly Sensitive Creatives. I'm doing this video series to give you a taste of what's going to go on in that class. I want to touch on some of the topics and give you a feel for how that class is going to go if you're considering joining us. So first of all, thank you to everybody who's reached out to me and said they're interested in the class. They have questions about the class. It sounds really cool. One of the biggest questions I've been getting is why this class? Why this class on fiction instead of all the other fiction offerings out there? I know there's a lot of stuff online about how to write fiction. There are writing guides and writing blogs and other classes and seminars and weekend retreats. It goes on and on and on. This class I'm teaching, I've been called to teach it because, in my opinion, fiction writing actually is harder for intuitive writers than any other type of writing. Now, I know some writers out there will argue with me on that, but I really do feel that for intuitive writers, this is true. And when I say intuitive writer, I mean someone who is intuitively oriented in the world. That might mean you're an INFJ personality type or an INFP personality type. It might mean you're an empath. Definitely means you're highly sensitive, but you navigate the world primarily through your intuition. Yes, you do use your five senses, you do use your reason and your logic, but the core of you is your intuition. And usually these people, these types of writers, are also emotionally centered as well. So if this is you, this class is going to be a really good fit for that if you want to get into fiction writing, or if you already are writing fiction and you're having problems with it, or you want to learn more. So why? Why is fiction writing harder for intuitive writers than any other type of writing? Well, the answer is really simple and it's really profound at the same time. That's because if you are an intuitive person, you use your subconscious and unconscious parts of the brain to access stories and characters. And you do this instinctively. You do this naturally. This is your natural writing flow. Your intuition works hand in hand with your unconscious to bring the story through, to bring the story into this reality. Not the conscious part of your brain. And this is very important because what happens when we try to take what's coming through the unconscious and take what's coming through our intuition and sort of move that over into the thinking part of the brain, like, well, how am I going to plot this story out? Or what makes the most sense for the character to do next? Or I have to have all the plot points in order. When we try to move our intuition into the thinking part of the brain, the conscious part of the brain, that's where we really run into problems, and that's where it does not work for intuitive writers. Now, so much of our culture is focused on problem solving and thinking and being rational that when you look at all of the other fiction classes out there and the mainstream fiction writing advice, it's all concentrated on how to think your way through the process, how to use the conscious part of your brain to problem solve putting this plot together and to problem solve inserting all the characters where they need to be, sort of like a mechanical machine. There's a formula, there's certain things you should do, there's certain things you have to do, and it all fits together like this machine, and then you push the button and the machine works. Writing for intuitive writers, fiction writing especially, is not like that. And when we try to build the machine, when we try to do what everyone else is doing and everyone else online is telling us to do, it all falls apart because we are not machine builders. What we're doing is an entirely different process. We're opening a portal into the unconscious. We're opening a portal into other realms, and we're peeking through that portal at a different world. We're seeing and absorbing information from that different world, and we're bringing it back over here. We're like crossing a bridge with it. So it's a really magical process, but it's a process that you cannot think your way through. And it's a process where logic doesn't really help. Emotion does help. Emotion and intuition paired together, that's kind of the magic key. So that's sort of a taste of what we're going to be learning in this new class. Of course, there's so much to cover, and I'm going to get so much deeper into these topics, and there's only so much I can talk about in this little video. But that's basically the core of it, is that we're going to be learning intuitive writing method strategies and how to manage our high sensitivity during the writing process and beyond to make the writing process actually flow. And so we don't hit all of these overthinking obstacles and roadblocks. So if you've taken my intuitive writing video course, this class is going to be great for you. If you haven't taken my intuitive writing video course, this class is still going to be great for you. If you've never even heard of my intuitive writing method, you'll probably still find a place in this class. You don't need to have any prior knowledge, and you don't need to have any prior experience. You just need to be yourself and have an interest in writing stories, feel a calling to writing stories, and a curiosity to go deeper, and a curiosity to let go of the mainstream methods that haven't been working for you and try something different that's a little bit on the fringe and a little bit unconventional, but can be a really fun process. So if you are interested in this class, if you have questions, please email me, writecitySF@gmail.com. There's a contact form on my website. You can use the comments box below. Please sign up for my newsletter, because I will be sending out all of the updates and announcements to my mailing list as I open up registration. Registration is only going to be open for 5 days. Please also subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's another great way to get updates. This is going to be a really fun class. We do 4 live classes. There's weekly writing assignments. There's interactive group exercises during the classes. I'm also going to be including silent writing sessions again during this class, because I've had such a positive reaction from folks in the last 2 classes where I did silent writing sessions. People love them. So this class will have a live class every week, 2 silent writing sessions a week, the private Facebook group, the weekly writing assignments. There's going to be a lot of stuff to dig into. It's going to be a really meaty class. Like, there's going to be a lot of information, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you have questions, get them to me soon. The registration window is only going to be open for 5 days. After that, I can't let in any latecomers. I will see you in just a couple days when I open up registration. I'm really excited, and I know a lot of you guys are really excited too. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you soon.